Depending on who you're listening to, home prices are crashing.
Right now, new home prices are way below existing home prices.
Now prices may be starting to go down a bit.
But in some areas of the country, prices are still strong.
The NAR is predicting double-digit growth in home sales.
Is the market going to crash?
Oh my gosh, no way. No.
So as you can see, it's super confusing, and if you were thinking about selling, how do you know who to trust? In this video today, I'm going to show you the 5 warning signs that you can figure out from your home, from your couch, as to whether your market is crashing or it's going up or it's stabilized. Because if I'm confused, I know that you must be confused too. So in today's video, I've gone in, I've analyzed videos, I've analyzed data, news articles, NAR, Zillow, everything you could think of, and I've got the 5 warning signs for you that prices may be crashing in your area. So here's what I want to tell you about the economists who are speaking on this topic of prices going up, going down. What is the market going to do going into the new year? And what they all have in common is they are all national. They are not local. And that's the singular difference that you need to figure out, is what exactly is your local market doing versus what are all these national economists saying? Because it's really important to hear what they're saying, but it's not necessarily correct for your area. So when people are asking me, who should I believe? What is the market doing? Well, my answer is that you do not have to believe anyone. All you need to do is educate yourself and listen to these 5 warning signs that I'm going to teach you today about if the market is crashing. Warning sign number 1 is inventory in your local market going up.
Right now, inventories are increasing. We're getting closer to that million.
We still have an inventory problem of not enough homes.
So sellers are confused, and the reason is because inventory is rising in certain locations and it's falling in others, or there is almost no inventory. And I know you're sitting in your local market thinking, gosh, we can't find a single house to buy. And in other areas, you're thinking, oh my gosh, all these homes have come on the market. Now, over the past couple of years, I've referred thousands of sellers across the country. So we are working with thousands of agents who are telling us about their markets. And in some areas where we're referring sellers, the agents are saying we cannot take on any more business. I don't want another listing. And in some areas, the agents are saying, yeah, this is great. The market is still really, really hot here. So some markets do have very little supply and some have a lot. So I want you to start understanding, does your local market have a lot of inventory? But here's what you need to understand is that inventory doesn't just automatically spike. Inventory is going to slowly inch up. And when you see that inventory going up, you may also see those prices come down. So you need to become what I call amateur professional of your local market. So when you see this inventory tick up and you see prices come down a little bit, this is when buyers stop their urgency. They're not out there in the first week or 2 weeks ready to pick up any home because they're kind of waiting. They feel that the market may be crashing a little bit. And so they're waiting to see if your home is overpriced, because if you are not sold in the first 2 weeks, you're not under contract, there is a good chance that your price is too high. And the buyers out there do know that. So they want to watch, they want to see, they want to wait. And so now what you're seeing is the inventory slowly creeping up, prices slowly coming down, and buyers just holding out and waiting. Now you're going to ask me, how do I specifically know if inventory is going up? How do I know for sure? Well, this is where I really want you to dig in, and you can do it a couple different ways. You can, of course, set yourself up on a search on Zillow or Homes.com, Redfin, or anything like that, or you can reach out to an agent. Now, an agent is willing to set you up on a search with no obligations whatsoever. You do not have that agent come out. You can literally just call that agent or sign up on their website. I have thousands of people who have signed up on my website, just gone to my website, typed in their name, their email, their phone number, and then they set up their search. Now, I may reach out to them, but most of the time they do not even respond to me. So you can find an agent in your area probably just by doing a search, going online, getting set up on a search. My real recommendation, though, is that you start a partnership with an agent. Now, I've got a ton of resources here for you, and I'm going to talk about all that in the end. But the very first thing I want you to do is make sure you download my Seller's Playbook. It's going to give you the 5 things you need to know in order to sell your home for more money, stress-free. It's been downloaded over 25,000 times. It's just a ton of resources. So we're going to get into the whole agent conversation a little bit later, but what you need to do is you need to either find an agent on your own, you need to reach out to me, you need to ask a friend, you need to sign up on one of these sites. You have to start understanding what the market is doing in your area. And once you get these emails coming in daily, you're going to say, wow, there's a lot of inventory on the market, or there's no inventory on the market. So our first warning sign was, Is your inventory going up? Yes or no? And warning sign number 2. Is there a lot of new construction around you? Now, this has been really significant over about the last year. And this is one of the biggest reasons why people in certain areas of the country cannot get their homes sold.
Right now, new home prices are way below existing home price. They're giving, price concessions of about $45,000, which would even increase that price even more, add them to the tune of like $80,000 less than existing median home price.
So I'm actually seeing this in my local market in Florida, and I went to a listing appointment a couple months ago, and I talked to the sellers about price, and I actually probably gave them a little too high of a price to begin with. But then I started checking around, talking to a bunch of the other agents who live in the area, who work in the area, who understand it really well. And I had come in and I said, we can try it at $699. I think $649 is probably the best price at this moment. But after I called these other agents, they were telling me, listen, we are losing every single deal to new construction. And that's because these builders are providing a huge incentive to buyers. They're doing rate downs. They're giving them design credits. I mean, anything you can imagine. In addition, their prices are lower. So after talking with these other agents and kind of viewing the market, I went back to the seller and I said, I think $599 might be the right price for you. And they said, there's no way it's $599. Ultimately, I did not get the listing and they went on the market at $669. And as of today, they're still on the market right now. Now, it's a very tough situation to be in because their home is great, fantastic, beautiful, in a wonderful location, but it's not new. And when buyers are coming in, they're thinking, well, why am I going to go buy this house where it's not brand new and I can buy this other house? It's brand new and I'm getting all of these incentives. And so it's very hard right now for resale homes to beat out on that new construction. And I swear some of the people that I'm referring, that I'm talking to, these new construction homes are so impacting the sale of their home that I don't even know if they can even go low enough on their price to get it sold. We're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars in losses if there's new construction going up around you. So now in some areas of the country, like the area that I sell in the Chicagoland market, there is no new construction, zero. So that is not a factor. But places like Florida or Texas or Arizona, there's a lot of new construction. And this is probably the biggest factor that you're going to have. So I want you to find out, is there a lot of new construction going up in your area? Yes or no? Warning sign number 3. Have there been a lot of price cuts on the homes that you're looking at? Now, this goes into the conversation that you need to have with an agent or getting set up on a search somewhere where you're seeing what's going on in the market. You're seeing your neighbors' homes. You are becoming, like I said, an amateur professional. And this is somebody who knows that market, who can really look at everything out there. You need to pretend that you are a buyer in your own market. So if you were going to buy something in your market, you need to see the other homes that are on the market. What do they have? What are their prices? How long are they on the market? And the big deal is, are prices going down in your area?
53% of homes losing value over their last year. And the more that months of supply goes up, the more desperate sellers are going to get to cut the price. And this explains why we're seeing this softening in the housing market.
There was this house that I listed that I actually did overprice. And I overpriced it because the market kind of shifted underneath us. In addition, I underestimated some of the things that the buyers would want coming in to the house. Now, that is something that can always be rectified. You do need to start moving the price. The problem is that the neighbors down the street kept telling the sellers that they should not reduce their price. So the neighbors are saying, you can't reduce your price. You have to keep it where it is. You should absolutely get every single dollar that's worth. And that's because the neighbors are not super educated. And I had to tell the seller, they're wrong. Literally, they are wrong. The market is dropping in our area. The inventory is going up. This house should have sold in a matter of a week 6 months ago. And now we're on the market for a couple of months. The price is too high. Inventory is going up. And that means prices are coming down. So that's the real thing, is if you're out there and you're listening to neighbors talk about all these prices, your neighbors may be 6 months to a year behind the actual market. That's why understanding what the agents are saying is so vital to you understanding, is your market going up or down. Now, I'm going to say many of you don't know where to start, and this is the place to start. My channel right here. Go ahead and subscribe, like, shoot me a comment, reach out to me. I have so many free resources for you. I want to make sure that I am helping you get your home sold for more money stress-free. I've referred thousands of sellers out to agents across the country in all of these different towns. Yes, every town that I'm showing here, we have referred agents to. We can find agents in your specific area. Even if you think it's not possible, it is possible. There's maybe only been a few that we haven't been able to hit, but I am telling you, we are going to find those agents who give you the best photography, who are the most honest, and who are going to give you the best pricing. If you're confused, you can go ahead and go to katispaniak.com, use the QR code, or click on the link in the description below, and we'll go ahead and get that to you, usually within 48 hours. Warning sign number 4, are homes being pulled off the market?
Delistings in October, which are reported with a 1-month lag, were up 45.5% year to date and up nearly 38% from October of last year. This is the highest delisting year since they began tracking in 2022.
When prices peak, delistings happen. What it says is that now prices may be starting to go down a bit.
This is one of my pet peeves. I actually really hate when people pull their homes off the market to see if they can get a better price later. The reason why is if your home is not on the market, it is not going to sell. And if you're watching me and you took your home off the market in November because you're like, I'm going to take it out for the holidays, there's nobody looking. Totally not true, because I just went under contract the week before Christmas on a $2.2 million home. Now, we've been on the market for 4 months, right? Had a showing. They wrote the offer. We went under contract. In addition, I had somebody reach out on Christmas Day to me asking if they could see the home the following day. Now, we also had 3 other showings on that home during the week of Christmas. So this is what I want to tell you. First of all, don't take your home off the market if you want to sell. Doesn't matter, days on market, don't worry. Just don't take your home off the market. But many people do, and that is what is happening, is so many people are taking their homes off the market because they're not getting the price that they're looking for. And then what they say is, oh, I'm gonna put my home on the market in the spring, or in a couple months, or I'm gonna hit 31 days so it resets as new. No, what's happening is everybody's doing that. So if you're seeing a lot of homes delisting with people who do wanna sell, I'm telling you, that means your market is going down. So remember, warning sign number 4, are you seeing home canceled and pulled off the market? Yes or no? So before I go into number 5, I just want to make sure you stick around to the end, because I'm going to wrap it all up for you and tell you exactly how to figure out how much your home is worth. Warning sign number 5, are you pricing your home based on homes that have sold over 6 months ago? If the answer is yes, well then that is your warning sign. So here's the real deal. When a buyer comes to a home, they're going to most likely get a mortgage. When they get a mortgage, it's going to have to be approved by the bank. The bank is going to send out an appraiser to the home, and the appraiser is going to tell the bank how much they think the home is worth. The appraiser will only use homes that have sold in the last 3 to 6 months. So if you are using homes to price your home 6 to 12 months and beyond, it's not working. You need to look at those homes that have sold in the last 3 to 6 months and make sure that your prices are correct. So there are 2 numbers that I really need you to understand. One is appraised value and one is market value. Now, pricing a home is an art, it's not a science. And I know you think, well, I'm just going to price it on what my neighbor sold for last year. Totally wrong. It's just a different way of looking at things. So your appraised value is the first number I want you to look at. And I want you to take homes within the last 3 to 6 months. And I want you to look at what those sold. Now, this is apples to apples. I want you to look at bedrooms, bathrooms, square footage, how close it is to you, things like that. That is the appraised value. Now, the market value is going to be what the market is going to pay for. So if your market's going up, there's a good chance that people will pay above the appraised value. If the market is going down, there's a good chance they're going to pay below the appraised value. So those 2 numbers are really important. In my playbook, I have specific directions, step by step, to go through and figure out how much your home is worth, how much your appraised number is, and how much your market value actually is. You can do this all on your own. So for the last warning sign, are you using homes that were sold more than 6 months ago? If so, your prices may not be correct. So if you are looking at pricing in your area, you need to understand all of these things. You need to become that amateur professional. You need to learn the market and go deep. And this is if you're selling in the next probably 3 to 6 years or so. I want you following that market. And I don't want to hear you say to me, but that house down the street sold for $500,000. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter unless you truly know that's the exact comp for your house. I have too many people, too many sellers who are reaching out to me saying, my home has been on the market for 6 months. Your price is too high. So if your home has been on the market for that long, you are not sure why it's not selling. You're thinking prices are going down. It's better to get under the market than to ride the market down. Price reductions that are $3,000 or $5,000 are not a good idea. You need to get under the market if you are desperate and you need to sell. Now, the other thing is my rule of thumb, I say it all the time, is if you are on the market for 2 weeks and you have no showings, that means your price is too high. Yes, absolutely. Your first 2 weeks is when you're going to get your best buyers out. If you haven't been on the market and you have had 15 showings and no offers, your price is too high. I don't want you to call me up. I don't want you to text me. I don't want you to email me. I don't want you to say in the Facebook group that it's your agent's fault. You've had 40 showings. It's your agent's fault. It absolutely is not. Your price is too high. Your agent's job is to get people in the door. And if you are getting showings, that means people are coming into the door. That is your agent's job. But the price is most likely too high if you've had that many showings. The other thing is that all objections can be overcome with a lower price. Talk about this all the time as well. If you are backing up to a train and you're trying to sell your home for $500,000 and people are saying, oh, it's too close to the train, let me tell you, you put that house on for $200,000, it is going to sell. I know that's an exaggeration, but it proves my point. All objections can be overcome with a lower price. So pricing is the key, the most significant thing that you can do. And I am warning you, going into the new year, are you going to be ahead of the market? Are you going to be behind the market? Are you going to be testing the market? Are you going to increase your stress because you are trying to eke out that an additional $10,000, $20,000? It's not worth it. We could be looking at another crash by the end of next year. Interest rates do not look like they are going to make a significant dip. So you need to be prepared. And if you need to sell, you have to get that price down to where it's going to sell. And I promise you, I know it's so hard to hear, but everything is about the price. So I had a seller last year who reached out to me and told me that she wanted $800,000 for her house. An agent that we sent over to the house told us $400,000 at the most. The seller said, well, I don't believe that agent. I said, well, that agent is the #1 agent in your community, and that agent will be bringing buyers into your house. I do not refer agents who buy the listing. I do not refer agents who give you 2 prices of a house just to get the listing. If that agent said it's $400,000 less than what you want, you are not getting your price. Literally not getting your price. The seller said, well, I don't agree with that. I said, you know what? That's fine. You can test the market. Totally fine. Don't believe the agent. Test the market. You can see what happens. But this is what I want you to understand is what if you cannot get that price you want? What if you can't get that $800,000? What will you do now? I want you to answer this as you're sitting there in your family room. If you can't get the price that you want for your house, what will you do? Because you cannot control the market. You cannot control what's going to happen to interest rates. So you need to decide, what are you going to do if you cannot get that price? Are you going to keep it on the market for a year, 2 years? You're going to just have showing after showing after showing? Maybe. That's your choice if you want to do that. Are you going to rent it? Maybe. That's another choice. But I will tell you, going down the landlord route is not good. Are you going to pull it off the market? Maybe relist it next year? Maybe. But what if the market is worse then? So just because you want that price doesn't mean you're going to get that price. So what if you can't sell the house for the price that you want? What will you do now? I need you to answer that. I need you to think about it. I need you to decide how you're going to price that house when you go to market. At the end of this video, I want to make sure you click on the next video that is going to talk to you about what if you can't sell your house. What now? So those are the 5 warning signs on how to know if your market is crashing, if it's stabilizing, if it's going up, because you are the local expert. You are the one that can figure it out. So go ahead, subscribe, like my channel, give me a comment, because I want to be here to help you sell your home for more money, but especially stress-free. I'm Kati Spaniak with Truth in Real Estate.